everybody. Today we're going to discuss second mission, level 2 of our unit 1B, the number system integers, and the main focus will be on power exponents and scientific notation. The reason we have power exponents and scientific notation here is because when we talk about powers and exponents, most of the time we are connected with okay, we are connected with scientific notation and simplification. So, go ahead, write down the name of the topic. On the left side, your practice assignment will be Power Exponents worksheet, and that will be in level 2 folder. So later, when you're done with your notes, you can come over to the green basket and take the worksheet that applies to this particular level. So let's take a look first of example what that's called power. So power is any number that has an exponent. So for example, I have number 5 with exponent of 3. This whole thing, it's called power. Now, what is called the bigger number and the smaller number? The bigger number is called base, and the smaller number it's called exponent. So please write this down. Power, the example of power, and how do we call each one of those numbers? Base is the bigger number again, smaller number is exponent. How do we rewrite this from power to a regular product? Well, the exponent shows us how many times we multiply this number itself. So 5 to the third means we multiply number 5 3 times, because the exponent says 3 times by itself. 5 times 5 times 5. In the words, 5 to the third power. So if you want to read that, you will say 5 to the third power. Awesome. So I'm gonna scroll down and move to some examples. If you need to pause the video, go ahead, pause, finish. This is very important information, and then follow me with the rest of the video. Problem number 1. We have evaluate the power. So again, 5 to the third, if I want to evaluate the power, I would put here 5 times 5 times 5. That's how we write the product. But now, also, working with evaluation of powers, we may have to deal with really big numbers, really small numbers. So now, you can start using your calculators and giving the evaluation of each one of those examples. So I'm going to show you how to type 5 to the power of 3 on the calculator so you can get the answer. Now, 5 is the base, so I'm going to type number 5, look at the calculator, and then I need to the power of 3. This button here is we're using to type the power or the exponent. So I'm going to press this button, and once you choose this button, look at the screen, we have exactly the same symbol here. This shows us we're ready now to type the exponent, and this will be to the power of 3. So 5 to the power of 3 equals 125. So this will be 125, and you're done with first evaluation. Oops. Next example, we have negative 3 to the power of 2. Every time you have number with parentheses, make sure you type the parentheses as well, because there is a difference if you power a number, this whole negative number, to the second power, or if you just have negative 3 to the second power. You will get two different answers, and we will talk about those actually in class. So I want you to type the parentheses exactly how you see the problem, then negative sign. You can use this negative sign from the bottom here. That will give you the negative sign. So you're going to type negative, you see the negative, then number 3, close the parentheses right here, close the parentheses, and then again to the power, so we're pressing this button, to the power of 2, and that will be equal to positive 9. So look at this match. The example that is given and the example that I typed on the calculator, they should perfectly match to each other. Okay, next one. Again, we have parentheses, negative 4, close the parentheses, to the power of 3 this time is equal to negative 64. I'm gonna just put the boxes so we know the answers. Okay, so I'm gonna keep working on the next one. We have 7 to the power of 2, which is 49. 1 to the power of 10, immediately 1. You know, 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 always equals 1. So no matter what power you have given here, positive power, it has to be positive power, the answer will be always 1. But if you're not sure, you can definitely type that on the calculator and get the answer. So here's a fraction. How do we do fractions? Let me show you how to use the calculator to do fractions. So I'm gonna open the parentheses. In one way we can say 4 divided, so the division sign is a fraction line sign, divided, oops, actually I'm sorry, this should be 2 divided, so 2 divided by 3 and close the parentheses. 2 divided by 3, fraction line is the same as division symbol, and this whole thing to the power of 3 equals, and now we get the answer is 0.3 approximately. 0.3. If you want to convert a decimal number to a fraction, you have to choose second up here, second, and then ABC button. ABC equals, and this should give you the conversion of 0.3 ABC should give you the conversion in a fraction. So, well, I will take a look of this, but let's say our goal now is just to evaluate, okay? So make sure you type the fraction correctly, and to the third power it's approximately 0.3. And I'm going to show you a few examples in the classroom, so we'll discuss some of those and if you have any questions. Now let's take a look of next one. It says write the product as a power. So they want you to write this product as a power, as an exponent. So from here we'll get to this point. Okay, that's what they want to see. So 2 is the base. Then we're gonna put big 2 over here. This is the base. Now what is the exponent? The exponent will be, we will count how many times we multiply 2 by itself. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times, so 2 to the 4th will be the power for this example. Alright, let's do the same thing with second power product. So we have 6 as a base, and the exponent will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times, so 6 to the 5 power is the second answer. Third one, now notice we have variable g, or letter g. G is our base, so again we put letter g here, and we want to know what is the exponent of g, and g will be 1, 2, 3. So g to the third will be the exponent for this one. Awesome. Well, again, if you have any questions, we will discuss them during class time or while I'm walking and helping you. Let me know. At this point, if you need to pause the video, do so, otherwise I'm moving to the next example. Okay, so next example, we have given 3 numbers, and they want us to write the number of those 3 numbers, or the power of them. So if you look at all those 3 numbers, one thing that needs to come to your mind is, are those numbers perfect squares? And if they are perfect squares, then it's going to be pretty easy to write down their powers, because perfect square will be the same as square root of 49. So 49 will be equal to 7 to what power? 7 to what will give us 49? And that will be 7 square. So all perfect squares will have power of 2 square. So 7 to the second power is, how do we write 49? What about 25? It's going to be 5 to the power of 2 again. 5 to the second power is 25. In 100, we can write this down as a 10 to the second power, and you will be done. So basically we're playing with those numbers, going back and forward through some square root, some perfect square, some simplification of the numbers, looking of those factor numbers, and as well writing the exponential form. The last example for today is a word problem, and we will see an example of how do we use this exponents in some real life cases. So Carly has 5 times as many syllables as Brian. Brian has 5 times as many syllables as Aisha. Aisha has 5 syllables. Write the number of syllables Carly has in both exponential form and standard form. So what do we have here? Carly has 5 times as many syllables as Brian. So let's write down those people names. We have Carly, we have Brian, and we have Aisha. Okay, so Aisha has 5 syllables. She has only 5 bands. Then it says Brian has 5 times as many syllables as Aisha. So that will be 5 times as many as Aisha. So it will be 5 times 5, which equals total of 25 bands. And Carly has 5 times as many syllables as Brian. So 5 times Brian has total of 25, which makes 50 bands for Aisha. Okay, well, now, how do we write those forms? Well, first of all, 5 times 25, I think something that's not completely right here. What is it? Is 5 times 25 50? No, it's not. Very, very good. Well, I hope you guys noticed that. Sometimes, mistakes helps us to go through the thinking process. So, what will be 5 times 25? Well, let's use the calculator and solve that and see what the answer is. 5 times 25 will give us 125. Okay, so let's go ahead and fix that. 125 bands. Alright, so now we will be asked to write down some of the power numbers here. So what number? 5 is, we will use the base, but if this is the number, how we are going to write the power of this number? Well, if you have given just number, remember that always the exponent of this number is 1. 5 to the first power is the same as 5. So you don't see it here, but you have to remember it's 1. It's always 5 to the first. Okay? Because you multiply 5 by itself once. Next one, we have given 25. 25 is a perfect square, right? So, what will be the answer here? If it's a perfect square, how do we write this down? Maybe 5 to the power of what? 5 to the power of 2. Very good. 5 squared. 5 to the power of 2 will give us 125. And the last one is 125. So 125 could be represented as a what? 5 to the fourth power? Do you think that will work? Well, we can try. 5 to the first is 5. 5 to the second is 25. 5 to the power of 3 will be exactly 125. So basically you can always check on the calculator if you're not sure. Because we're talking about this 5s. 5 to the first is 5, 5 to the second is 25, and then 5 to the third is 125, and you get the final answer here. So we just complete the answer for this question. What is the standard form? The standard form will be this one. when we tried to figure out the example and what is given. And the exponential form is this one here. This is the exponential form for this example. All right, well, any questions? Think about that. We'll discuss in class, or you can simply make a comments under discussion board on Schoology. That will help also to solve some of the problems. And I will see you during class time. Thank you for watching the video. Bye.